Hey, time now for everyone's favorite game show. It's not really a microphone, it's a pen, and I'm not really a game show host. I'm just here on NFL HQ. We're playing a little more or less, and we're talking Oakland Raiders, Elliot, silver and black. And we're going to start with you, Derek Carr. 32 touchdown passes a year ago, so more or less for our brother of David Carr.
I am disappointed. We couldn't get a stick mic.
I know, a long one, Bob Barker style, yeah.
Come on.
The music.
I'm going to go more.
Okay.
I think 34, 35 for him. I think the Raiders are still going to have to rely on him to win some games, partially because what we talked about last hour, Jay, with the running game being a little bit of a disappointment. I still think it's on Derek Carr.
Yeah, 32 is a lot, but I agree more. And you look at Derek Carr and Amari Cooper and what they're going to be able to do together, becoming one of the best tandems in the NFL.
Yeah.
They're going to have to put up points. So we talked about their secondary earlier and how they have to find replacements there. So they're going to have to play catch up sometimes, and they're going to put up a lot of points. That's going to come through the air.
Yeah, he progressed so much from year 1 to year 2. You can only imagine what year 3 is going to look like. Amari Cooper totaled 1,100 receiving yards 2015, more or less in 2016, Elliot.
Well, I have him for more. I think Jay's got him like being an all-pro already. I don't know. You seem very high on him.
I am.
You know, 1,100 yards just isn't that impressive anymore to me for a wide receiver, given the way the rules are, the way the quarterbacks are throwing the football, and that you could just throw it over the middle with no problem, which you couldn't do 10 years ago. So to me, given what he did last year, I think 1,100 yards is a drop in the bucket as long as he stays healthy.
Amari Cooper can do anything. He can run the underneath routes. He can go up high. We saw that on the tape right there and get the ball. He can do everything you ask as a receiver. Take the top off. 1,500 yards, I would not be surprised this year at all.
All right, look at the hamstrings on that guy. The numbers, they will certainly follow. Now, Khalil Mack, he has numbers. He finished last season 15 sacks. He checked in at number 13 on our list of the top 100 players. Second in sacks, only to J.J. Watt, who racked up 17. So, Elliott, more or less than 15 in 2016.
Man, I thought about this, and
Long and hard,
I can't believe I'm saying it, but more. You know, it is so hard for a pass rusher to get more than 15 sacks in back-to-back years. But every time I have underestimated him, last year I wrote in an article, hey, Khalil Mack's been good, but he hasn't been playing at all-pro level. So, of course, that week he goes into Denver and single-handedly decimates their whole offensive line. 5 sacks. I mean, he literally, of all the games I watched last year, I would say that was the one game where I thought one player won that game.
And, you know, year 1, he had how many sacks?
4.
I can't
From 4 to
15.
15.
I can't take away from how good he was because he was phenomenal last year. But 15 sacks is a lot. And they're going to slide protection towards him. They're not scared off the other side. The Raiders have done a good job in the offseason and the draft of trying to find people to mirror him on the other side.
Bruce Irvin.
But they're going to try. Everything every offense does is going to be based on Khalil Mack. Where is he? Find him. Don't allow him to get to the quarterback. I don't see him getting quite as many sacks.
And you said you didn't want to shortchange Mack. I don't want to shortchange J.J. Watt because he had 17 and a half sacks a season ago. Not 17. Sorry about that, J.J. Sorry.
Jay, I'm going to ask this next question to you because Sebastian Janikowski, 4 of 5 field goals from the 50-yard line range. That is impressive. Is he going to have more or less than that in 2016?
Well, I'm going to go with less, even though he's still got a cannon for a leg. He has since he was back in high school in Florida and college at Florida State, but they're a better team now. So they tried a lot of long field goals when they were not a good team. They were like, hey, let's try a 60-yarder. We'll put Janikowski out there. He's got the leg. But as you get better as a team, you're going to be a little more prudent. You're going to pump the ball. You're going to play a little bit more strategic football and game management. You're going to try less field goals, I think. Plus, he's getting up there a little bit in age.
Wow, I'm surprised you're saying. Well, first of all, I've got less, but I'm looking here. I mean, you know, your quads, I see a little bit of atrophy, Jay, but not a ton. I mean, if you could still go out and do it, he's a couple years younger than you, isn't he?
He can still do it. I think it has more to do with the team than it does him in particular.
So as you get older and even though your legs are stronger, is it harder to be accurate on those longer kicks?
I found that it was the opposite. Because you've done it so long, you get grooved in and you stay at 80%. I mean, my longest kick was towards the end of my career. And you just understand how to do it better. It makes it easier to do your job.
Your longest career kick, 61 yards to
That's right.
be correct. All right, now let's talk about wins and losses. They were not hinged on 61-yard field goals, but last season the Raiders, they finished, they're 7-9, Elliot. So what do you say? More or less than 7 W's this year?
I got them more. I think the AFC West as a whole is going to be stronger, but I think the Raiders are going to be stronger than their division's going to be stronger, if that makes sense. Denver, I still look at them being competitive. Of course, we see their schedule there. All-important game against the Broncos at Denver. That was the Khalil Mack game, by the way. The 5 sacks was at Denver.
Yeah.
I think San Diego is going to be a lot tougher out than they were last year. And, of course, Kansas City, but we're only talking about being better than 7 and 9. I don't see why the Raiders can't win 10 games. 10 games may win the division.
I'm with you. I go more. I think they are going to win the division. I think this team takes major steps forward. And you look at Denver, who's their quarterback? Is it going to be Mark Sanchez, or who are they going to go with? That's a big question mark for that Denver team, even though they got a great defense coming back. But I think this Raiders team takes the steps and the necessary steps that they need. They win the division, win at least 10 games.
Well, they more than doubled their win total from the year previous. They went from 3 to 7. So maybe if they double their win total, they'll win 14 games.